Hi. We're talking about body image, how to help your kid have a healthy body image. I care so much about this. I think because most of my life, I have struggled with the way I view myself. I, for as long as I can remember, have felt like I wasn't the right size or shape. I have struggled with insecurity in major ways. I've had an eating disorder at various points in my life. It's just been a battle for me to view myself in a way that's healthy, and I have been so committed for years. My friends and family will attest to this. I've been committed to developing a healthy mentality towards myself and my beauty. I've wanted to be healthy in the relationship that I have with food, in the way that I talk about myself. For many years, I led a ministry that was dedicated to girls and women around the world, teaching them on beauty, identity, and value. This has been something that's like oozed out of me because I care so deeply about it. I've also worked in fashion and entertainment with some of the most influential names in beauty. These people are influencing the whole world when it comes to how you and I define what is beauty, what does it mean to be thin, what does it mean to be attractive. I just care. I care so deeply about this. And I remember when Eloise was born, she was probably like a week old, and Sean and I were obsessed with her. We were crazy about the way she looked, just like her little tiny, perfect, beautiful body. And I remember having the thought that like, this girl one day is gonna wonder if she's beautiful, because that's what we do as humans. And I started crying. I was like, how is this person with such a perfect little frame gonna not like how she looks one day? Because it just seems inevitable, because everyone around me is struggling with that. And it got me, and it gets me. It still gets me. And it's not just a female issue. I know plenty of men, good friends of ours, who I mean, Sean has struggled with this, who question who they are, who are insecure about the way they look, who wrestle daily with their appearance. So it's a human thing. It's not just a female thing. But I do think it's pretty amplified for women to be beautiful, and this message of having an amazing body. And especially if you're a mom, you are seeing the same messages as me probably, and it's a very strange one. It's this. It's have a baby, be really beautiful all of pregnancy, look gorgeous. The main compliment you want to receive is, here you don't look pregnant, and really like from behind you don't look pregnant, you really only look pregnant here. Meanwhile, you're swollen all over the place and you're trying so hard to stay beautiful. And I know like some people, they don't struggle that hard with it, but for me, it's a thing. I think about it, right? So even throughout pregnancy, I was like, wow, this is so weird. I did feel beautiful at times. I also felt like Santa Claus at times. That's what I told Sean. And then you have your baby, and then almost immediately you feel this pressure to look like you didn't have a baby. Strange, so strange, because having a baby rocks your whole life, including your body, and what an amazing body you have, because you just made a beautiful baby with it. And yet there's a weird pressure and shame and insecurity, and things don't look the way they did before, and it's just a struggle to be at ease with yourself. And then you have this beautiful bundle of joy that you're supposed to raise up in this world with social media and YouTube and everything. And you're supposed to help them know that they're beautiful and help them to be confident and have a sound view towards themselves and others and appearance. And holy moly, it's a lot. And it's not easy. I do think there's some ways that we can do well. We can do our best to help a child grow up and feel good about who they are. At least to have a foundation of that, and then they can build on it as they grow. The first piece of advice I'm going to give for raising a child with a healthy self-image, healthy body image, is lead by example, which means it's going to be about the way you view yourself first. And I know this to be true because I remember some of my earliest kind of questions about my own body coming after I heard grown women that I love, family members, talking badly about their own body. That was when the first kind of thought came into my mind that my body could be bad, Kids aren't born with that. They don't just like arrive and think like there's a bad body and a good body. I'm watching my own kids, and every body is a good body. I think we teach them that there's a bad body. That's my opinion. And so what I'm gonna encourage you guys with is, in your house, try with all your might to cut out negative talk about your own body. In fact, I years ago started this thing through the organization I was working with, where we had a rule together in our friend group and in this organization that we did not talk badly about our bodies. We did not talk badly about our appearance. So there's no such thing as like, oh my gosh, I look like crap today. Oh, I look huge today. Oh, my skin looks terrible. Because what I realized was that kind of talk is contagious. You watch a group of women or girls go into a bathroom together, and once one of them starts talking crap about themselves, it creates this like air, this culture in the bathroom where suddenly everybody's pointing out their flaws. And one girl's like, oh, I'm so big. And the other girl's thinking, well, if you think you're big, you must think I'm huge because I'm bigger than you. And it's just this contagious, self-destructive thing that happens. And so I committed years ago to not be like that, but I'm seeing even more now that I have a daughter who's watching everything I'm doing, that it's so important not to be talking badly about myself. I will say that doesn't mean my mind is all rainbows and butterflies towards the way I look. If I'm struggling, genuinely struggling, feeling like, man, I feel big, or I feel like my skin is not where I want it to be, or my hair is not where I want it to be, I actively try to talk about it in a productive way. So like calling my sister and being like, hey, could you pray for me? Or could you encourage me? Or do you ever have days where you feel like this? Because I just feel like this and I don't want to, and I need some help. That's productive. But to just like spew negative self-talk, unproductive. Also, if I blow it, where I talk badly about myself in front of my daughter, I say sorry. I actually like acknowledge it and call it what it is and say it's not something we do. I encourage you to do that. Be so committed to not talking badly about yourself that you'll actually call it what it is and handle it in the presence of your kids, so that they see, oh, we don't talk like that. We're not a home or a family that puts bodies down. It's just not our way. Another thing is, be aware of the way you talk about other people's appearance. So when you are affirming, like, that woman looks so good, that girl looks so good, oh my gosh, Kim K, she looks so good, blah, blah. What are you talking about? If you are only talking about people's appearances, it's going to put kind of an emphasis in your kid's mind on physical appearance, right? So I would encourage you, and what I'm encouraging me to do as well, is affirm qualities that you want to emulate, in your own life. You want to see your kids take on those values. So not just, oh my gosh, this person looks so good, but also, oh my gosh, look how beautiful that was when that person shared with that other person. Or look how beautiful that was the way that they, gave generously to somebody. Qualities that you think are really beautiful, start calling them that and draw attention to that, versus putting such an exclamation point on people's physical appearance. You could also go the route of not really talking about bodies at all in your house. I know that that's a thing that people do, is they just leave body talk out and talk about the things they value and the qualities that they care about more than appearance. That's something. Eloise, my daughter, is obsessed with princesses and fairies, and she just wants to be a beautiful little pixie fairy princess, dazzling being, and we love it. One thing that Sean said recently to her, though, that I thought was so valuable, and I want to keep it, is he said, you're not going to be allowed to dress like a princess if you don't act like a princess. Because to be a beautiful princess is not to look like something, it's to be kind and to be loving and to be a good listener. And so basically he was using it as a form of instruction and correction, because she was acting out. But I really valued that, where he's drawing attention to beauty being a heart thing more than a face, hair, body shape thing. So there's that. If you want to dress like a princess, you act like a princess. And that's an inside thing. Talking openly about diverse beauty. So if you're trying to make a point of teaching your kid what is beautiful, call out different people's shapes, different people's colors, I mean, recently Eloise and I had a conversation about skin color because she couldn't believe that back in the day there was any sort of racism. She thought it was crazy, which good, she should. So we started talking about skin color, and we started talking about how beautiful it is when somebody has chocolate skin or caramel skin or coffee colored skin or vanilla skin or strawberry skin when it gets a little sunburned, and just calling out like, isn't it so beautiful? And then she's listing like, so and so has caramel skin, it's so pretty, and this person has chocolate skin and that's so pretty. And just like opening her eyes to the beauty that is beyond herself and me and this home that we live in. I remember one time she was watching a show, and it was a family from India, and there was this woman on there, and she was an elderly woman, curvier, just like looked like a fabulous grandmother, I don't know, and she was wearing a sari that was blue and sparkly, and Eloise was like, oh my gosh, she is so beautiful, like a princess, she looks like Elsa. And I thought it was the cutest thing, because the only thing that looked like Elsa was the fact that her dress was blue, but to Eloise that was enough. And so just letting like that be beauty, just the things that kids are naturally drawn to, and making a point to celebrate the diversity of it. When it comes to shape, size, health, nutrition, all of that, I would encourage kind of the way you talk about food, fitness, all of it be about making your child and yourself stronger. Like, yeah, we want to eat well so that we can be strong to run, and we can be strong to jump, or we can be strong to play. Even recently, Eloise was like, Mom, what happens if you eat too much food? And I was really aware of kind of the natural answer would be like, well, you don't want to eat too much food because you'll get fat. But I don't even really want her to worry about that right now. So I just said, you know what, eating too much food can make your body not do what it's supposed to do. A body only needs a certain amount of food, and so you want to eat until you're full, and eat lots of different colors of food, and try new flavors, and eat things that have nutrition in it, and eat ice cream sometime because that's fun and that makes you healthy too. And I was just really trying to like steer clear of fat talk, because she's 4 and she doesn't need that right now. So I guess what I'm saying is have an awareness about the way you're talking about these things. And if you're genuinely concerned about your child's size, that's okay, that happens. And as they grow, and as doctors have input in your life, they may say, hey, your child's gaining too much weight, or is not gaining enough weight, and you need to work on that. As that stuff happens, you're going to need to use a lot of tact in the way you talk about it, but all of it can be about making your child feel loved, and that you want to help their body be the healthiest, strongest, best version of itself that it's supposed to be. And and do it with so much love. And if you're demonstrating love towards yourself in the process, then it's going to help your kid to understand that as well. And feel free to call out friends and loved ones if you have people in your life that are speaking really harshly about their own bodies in front of your children. Say no thanks. Like, you can be bold to protect your kids in that, because it really is so important. And then I guess when it comes to media, be aware of what your kids are watching, be a part of conversations. Recently, Eloise was watching something, and the girls on it started talking badly about other girls on it, and I quickly swooped in and was like, okay, so this isn't a way that we talk to somebody, and what does that make you feel? I mean, I'm learning. This is my first daughter. I don't know what I'm doing. But just basically talking about it at least opens it up so that she doesn't just watch it and think, oh, this is normal. Girls talk badly about other girls. Because they don't. We don't. That's another video. We're nice to each other. I think that's all. If you have advice for other moms, especially if you have older kids and you've walked through this before, go ahead and leave that advice in the comments. You guys can join the Facebook group we have for more support. The Facebook group is called Jess Hover and Friends, and in that, feel free to start a conversation about this. I think the best thing I can tell you is your daughter or your son, they're gonna watch you guys, you and your partner, for the example that they need. So love yourself like crazy. Go out of your way to talk kindly about yourself. Get wild about not talking badly about yourself, and show them what it looks like to be somebody who has healthy self-image. And if you don't have healthy self-image, welcome to the world. We all struggle. Be proactive about fighting for it, because even if your kid has that as their example, they see my mom has struggled with this, but she's really worked hard to overcome. They'll be overcomers too. So don't be afraid of it. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really like you. I will see you soon. See you on Instagram, and thank you so much for being here. Okay, I hope you have a really good day. You're doing a good job.